Hello guys and welcome back to another video, and today we are back with another episode of What If History Started Over. This is Season 2, Episode 2, also known as Episode 12, and this is the current world. Now I did do some updating of some maps, so let's switch to the states map. There's been a bit of differences made, as tensions will be different from each episode, so hey, this is it at the start of this episode. I'll try to keep the map updated. Another thing we need to talk about is alliances. Now I have gotten a comment that says that these two should unify, but with them being in opposite alliances and them invading Persia, I don't see that as a very popular idea in either country. But we're gonna say that they drop out of this alliance. So they're gonna drop out of the alliance, which is making better chances for them to unify with Persia. Now back to the main stuff. Italia is basically doomed. Like, their leader is trying to raise a son though, and the son will be a great military might person. Like, he will be like Napoleon or like Julius Caesar, but they will have to wait, and I don't see it as a possibility that they couldn't invade right when they're transferring the government. I feel like that would be a very common thing. So we're gonna say that they wait another decade, and that the government is about to change, and it's time for a war. On one side we got the red team, which might include Ethiopia, but they're gonna stay neutral as of this episode. We have all these countries joining in. And now we need to take a look at how this war will progress. I'm also gonna say that the Merchant Empire joins, just because, they want some more land this way. So now let's get into the detailed map. So we have the Merchant Empire pushing in to the Italia. Now, they probably don't have to do this, it's mainly just a government thing, but they want to swipe away some territory. But their soldiers are ordered to stop now that they have to aim for the capital. A fleet is made on Sicily that eventually wipes up the island, and they get in, and now the government's kind of concerned, everybody's like, what? So we have a siege of Rome, or the capital. As of right now, it's not exactly Rome, it's a different city as of right now, but they might change their capital after this war. But the siege will last a while, and they continue the invasion of the peninsula until they reach a stalemate. They'll also be able to snag these islands and push all the way over here. They get to here before they stop in Africa because it's pointless. Over here on the Balkan front, we see Russia push on in. And here's perfectly when the rebellions would happen. There's some people don't want to be in this empire exactly, so it's their time to rebel, The Germans would rebel. So now it's just gonna be the fall of the empire, really. Because we see them taking more land. Basically everywhere that they could possibly gain land in, they will do so. They eventually break out of the peninsula and connect up. And eventually the government will fall. Now, we need to see who gets what slices of this pie. It's time to divide up this cake into slices. You see the Merchant Empire manages to take a decent chunk of territory from them. Again, the goal wasn't to just take all their land, it was mainly to change the government. They would take a large chunk of land back over here. And finally for Russia, they would start to take a chunk out of here. But will any states or provinces break away? Only one. The German parts would break away and try to form their own thing. Welcome back, Germany. You have been missed. A lot of people don't like Italia. But with a weaker Italia, they need to move their capital now. So, where will the new capital be located? They're going to build their dream city right where modern day Rome would be, which we're gonna say around right there. They're building their dream city, which we'll call Rome. Now, what will other states do? Of course, they get Berlin back. But now what will other states do now that Italia has been weakened for the first time in a while? Well, first of all, the merchants need to better connect up their territories, so they have to do one simple thing. Just get that territory right there. And now their borders look much better. But the merchants want to expand in other directions, but they don't have that time or to do that. Like, they're mainly on economic-based stuff. Not exactly an expansionist by many means. But we have a new thing over here in the Indian subcontinent. They were the first person to invent guns. Those pew-pew thingies. So, what will they do? They, of course, they spread that. And in a diplomatic turn, they give the blue team guns. They send letters and stuff to the capital of the blue team, basically saying, hey, this is new technology and we're just giving you a sample of it. Maybe your army could use this? And now the diplomatic ties will be growing between the two states. But eventually they'd alert them, everybody would be alerted about this. And the state that gets onto that first is going to be Britain, which will now take some of Greenland. But Greenland is still freezing cold, so they won't do much at all. Then they sail over here, and they're like, wait, there's a continent over here. What? Guys, we need to keep this a secret. And so they set up a colony around Labrador, Newfoundlandish area. Now there's going to be no border lines because they don't exactly have a detailed border for these colonies yet. But they have a foothold. Speaking of North America, the natives are going around the coastal territories, and they're going to go in where modern day New England is, and PEI, New Brunswick, all those places. And here's where they're kind of unifying, because they kind of want to own everything that they can get their hands on, but they're doing it slowly. But with the British now having guns, they go full rampage mode. After a few years, they send over a bunch of troops with guns, just in case there's anybody here. They eventually go and capture all of Newfoundland, and they push down the coast. And here, this is where they first realize, wait, there's people here? Yikes. So the people meet up. They don't exactly know how to communicate, but they came to agreement that they can annex this territory as long as they don't go any further. So now they have to properly set up a border, which will be around there. And now the British are starting their colonial empire, which is very great news, and it's a viewer suggestion, actually. Viewers wanted that. Wait, what? Oh boy, why did I do this? It seems I've forgotten to erase some stuff here. So this is what happens when you mess around and find out. Now I gotta fix up the map. Listen to those who are gonna make their own series. Do not mess around and find out. It's not worth it. But now that I fixed the map, what else will be happening? Well, Pink Team will allow their colony in Madagascar to, grow. So with the permission, they go down and capture the whole island in a very swift, just a few years, and they're going to unify it as one whole colony. But then they start landing on the coast of actual Africa. And here's where the government's like, hold on, we never made much of an agreement to this one. So they have to stop what they're doing. But yeah, more colonialization is good for development. You know what, let's have an update on Russia. The city is almost done up here, and they've conquered some more land. Not that surprising at all. So now I need to redraw the border again for Russia as they quickly expand. And soon Russia will be a force to be reckoned with once they start getting their guns underway. Yep, we're ramping up the intensity here with these guns now being a thing. But we need another country to exist now. So all the way over here in Asia, we will have a new country try to form in. Kinda around there, I'd say. They're going to be Yucky Blue, as I'd like to call that. And now they must pick where their capital's gonna be. I'd say coastal, right there. Yeah, pretty cool. But there's some tensions in Persia now, as different groups of people. You want me to bring up that map again? Still a bit outdated though. Specifically, let me highlight the states that these states do not like what these states are doing. So now they're kind of divided politically. So this might cause a civil war to happen. And a civil war will happen. That is what is going to be happening next. With the Civil War happening, everybody's like flabbergasted. How could this happen? With the red team pushing in their troops, or the rebellion, they're trying to squeeze in and get to the capital. But with that, we have the pink team pushing in because they're like, this is illegal, so they're trying to help. And also they could gain land from this. And the blue team would manage to pick up their forces and send them back to the border. And the pink team would do that. And then they kind of like, these two leaders meet up and they're like, okay, fine, we'll agree. We'll agree. So now we have a new state. Now they don't like this at all, but you get what you get and you don't get upset. That's the saying. Now they move their capital all the way up to Tehran, which is around there. This is actually a lot of development for one episode. So I guess that's where I'll leave you guys to decide more lore and give me more suggestions in the comments. If you like this video, make sure to smash that like button. As always, check out my new movie called Third Time's the Charm if you haven't already. It is absolutely amazing. So far we have a 100% like ratio on it. And I'll see you guys in another episode of this wonderful series. Goodbye!